chance to read Luke chapter 5, and I had so much inspiration from that chapter. I can tell you specifically it's been awesome because the story talked about Peter, whose boat was empty that night, and they started to wash their nets and take a break, like just go away for the evening. That's very powerful because an empty boat means something. So let me tell you what an empty boat means to me because it's actually something very powerful. As long as it's not a broken boat, right? It's not a sinking boat, it was just empty, it actually carries significance because empty boats means that there is capacity for more. And that's who you are. You're made for more. Well, for Simon and his fellow fishermen, they had the capacity to be great fishermen. But that night, they had nothing to show for it. Simon had the skills, the experience. He knew the waters, where to catch the best fish, the biggest fish, but they worked all night and caught nothing. And that is where they had issues. So you can be gifted, disciplined, consistent, and still feel like it's not working. You may have toiled all night. And that statement might resound with you because you may have some quiet frustrations and disappointments. Like, I've done my best. Why is it not working? And slowly, some people may have started to wash their nets. Not because they're done forever, but they just decided that it's time to give a break. But the instruction that came next was something that it's almost unbelievable. That instruction, launch out deep, came to me differently. Not from the fisherman's perspective, not after a failure, not after the effort they had put in, but the fact that they were told to try again. This time, go deeper. Not just hard work, but with strategy. Going deeper is doing something differently. So what do you need to work on? Is it deeper in your thinking, your beliefs, your strategy? Because sometimes the issue is not the effort. It is the depth at which you have done what you've always done. The point where you decide, nevertheless, not because it makes sense, not because the conditions have changed or you became more confident, but just because you know that it's time to do something differently. That's when potentials begin to unlock. And at the end of the day, what happens? Their nets began to break. So for Peter, their nets began to break when they decided, nevertheless. This was not about more preparation. It was just an alignment because it's the same man, the same boat, the same sea, but at a different level. And suddenly the capacity was overstretched. That miracle is a lesson because you probably have more capacity than your last result. So what are you doing for you to quit or postpone things till later, but take another chance on yourself? So for Peter, they went from catching fish to catching men, which was the grand purpose for their lives. So that scenario of disappointment was more about redirecting the purpose for which he was created. So think about it. Where are you in your life right now? Are you either washing your nets? Have you postponed things for later? Are you relying on what you know? Or do you plan to go deeper? Do you want to do things differently? Because that challenge actually is made to make you stronger. Because sometimes those challenges are actually a way to redirect you to where you're supposed to be headed in life. So let me let you know that your empty boat is not failure. It is unused capacity. And sometimes the breakthrough you're looking for is on the other side of one decision, that nevertheless moment that I will definitely try again. So bet on yourself. As long as you know that you're not yet living fully in the potential that you know that you carry from inside you, definitely start to give yourself another chance, another permission to try again. And this time at a different depth with different strategies, and just watch how things change. One more try. Cheers.